Have you ever been absolutely convinced something was true and later realized none of it actually happened? In this episode, we are going to talk about one of the greatest storytellers you have ever met, your own mind. You are listening to the 46th episode of Tabling Thoughts podcast, recorded and published in July 2026. Today's episode is titled The Stories We Tell Ourselves. I want to ask you something. Have you ever been absolutely convinced something was true and later realized none of it actually happened? Maybe someone didn't text you back. Your manager sent you a message saying, "Can we talk tomorrow?" Your partner came home unusually quiet. A friend walked past you without saying hello. Within minutes, your brain had already written an entire movie. Oh, they're upset with me. I did something wrong. I'm getting fired. My relationship is ending. What's fascinating isn't that these thoughts appear. The fascinating part is how quickly we believe them. Our brain was never designed primarily to make us happy. It was designed to keep us alive. Thousands of years ago, uncertainty could be dangerous. If you heard something moving behind the bushes, assuming it was a tiger, even if it wasn't, was safer than assuming everything was fine. Our brains still work that way. Only today's tigers are unanswered messages, silence, facial expressions, social media, being left unread, someone changing their tone. Your brain would rather invent an explanation than admit that, maybe I don't know. That's why uncertainty feels uncomfortable. Not because uncertainty is dangerous, but because the brain wants certainty. Let me tell you a story. Imagine you send someone a message. An hour passes, nothing. Then another hour, again, nothing. Now your mind begins working. Oh, they're ignoring me. They're mad. I said something stupid. By evening, you have replayed every single conversation from the past month. The next morning, they reply, "Sorry, my phone died." Nothing happened except inside your mind. I want to talk about facts versus stories here. One of the most important distinctions in psychology is the difference between facts and stories. Facts are observable. Stories are interpretations. Fact says they haven't replied in 6 hours. Story says they don't respect me. Fact says my boss wants to see me tomorrow. Story says I'm being fired. Fact says my partner is quiet tonight. Story says they don't love me anymore. Our emotional reaction almost never comes from the fact. It comes from the story. That's why two people can experience the exact same event and have completely different emotional reactions. I have seen this so many times in my coaching practice. Someone tells me, "I know my friend doesn't care about me anymore." And I ask, "What happened?" They say, "She hasn't called." That's a fact. Then I ask, "Is there any other explanation?" And then it comes the silence. Because once our brain writes one story, it stops looking for other possibilities. My friends, mind reading is one of the most common thinking traps. We assume we know what others think, why they acted, what they meant, without ever checking it. It's almost like becoming a narrator of someone else's life. What's the problem here? We usually write negative stories and rarely positive ones. Someone doesn't smile, we think, "Oh, they dislike me." Someone cancels the dinner, "Oh, they're avoiding me." Someone is distracted, "Oh, they are bored of me." Reality? Maybe they're exhausted. Maybe they are grieving. Maybe they are worried about something you will never know. My friends, I want to leave you with one question this week. Every time you notice yourself getting emotionally activated, pause. Ask yourself, what are the facts? Then again, ask yourself, what are the stories I'm adding here? You might discover that this story, not reality, is what's hurting you. In the next episode, we are gonna explore what happens after we believe those kind of stories. Because once a story is believed, it doesn't just stay a thought, it becomes an emotion, then a behavior, and eventually, it begins creating the very reality we feared in the first place. Thank you for being with me. Until next episode, take good care of yourself.